Maybe we'll just do some intros for people, and then we can adjust any audio levels if we need. So maybe Tarsiz, you could kind of start off and tell people how long you've been involved in AoE community and your general thoughts
Yeah,
for Nations Cup coming forward.
yeah, I guess. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just hopefully the audio
Yeah.
levels are good for people.
Well, I've been involved in the community since I think 2016 or 2017. So I've been following the scene since then. I think the first tournaments that I followed were the early escape events on HD, so Battle for Anchor and this kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I was around for Nations Cup 2017. That was like the last major team tournament on Voobly. I played in that, and and over the years, my lots of my contributions to the community and the tournament scene has been like writing up stuff for tournaments, trying to analyze the teams or the players that would be participating.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually came from a guy who was doing this kind of stuff for Nations Cup 2017. I don't remember the name of the forum user. It was on AOC Zone,
Uh-huh.
and he had made posts for the top teams and everything during the tournaments, analyzing like the players who were VIP in the games, etc. And I actually loved that, and yeah, that was a big inspiration for me going forward.
Yeah, I remember seeing your Visible Cup. That's probably the ones that are most recent, right? For people to kind of
Yeah,
that'll jog some
those are
memories, I
probably the
think.
last ones I made.
Yeah.
So Nerfox contacted me at the time, and yeah, I said, okay, I'll do that.
So hopefully we'll get some more of them out of you for the the main event when it rolls around,
Yeah, yeah,
which would be
hopefully.
amazing. Panda, how about you?
I
Can you follow that up?
me
I'm sorry, we've put you on under the spotlight.
no, it's fine. I've been playing this game kind of for almost 20 years now, I think. Mostly like I was that single player pleb, like make only 20 villages, and then it was a struggle getting into multiplayer because I was like I only made 20 rolls a game, which doesn't happen. But yeah, I got into the game at like in 2017. I think I played in a tournament called Noobs of AOC. Tarsiz was in it. That was my first tournament experience of playing. Now I can't remember though if Nations Cup was before that or after that. That was my like I can't remember that, but I do know that was the first team game tournament um I watched. And I was just like so amazed. It's like what's happening, and I was so confused. Like I've learned along the years how team games work and that. But anyways, about me, I'm an average player, and that I do like watching the game.
You're a big
Everyone.
watcher. You're a big watcher.
Oh yeah.
Panda loves the
I
game so much. He spectates
I
games
used
for fun.
I indeed I used to I went back on Google like spend easily. Like I would go to uni, get back home, open the game, and then I would go spectate.
It's like such an old school
and like
attitude going back to Vibly.
yeah, and then like
It was quite
so I
easy on
would
Voobly as well.
yeah, and you just look because I had people on my like because you can have people on your watch list, and then I would have it's, I forgot his name. Italian player. I had on my watch list like if he was online, I could spectate him. If Winch was online, I could spectate him, but he stopped playing at that stage for a while. I remember, but yeah, and then I got into like hosting some tournaments in T90's Discord. I've stopped. I would like to get going again, but yeah, it's we'll see. Maybe this year's my comeback.
How long have you been saying that for?
Yes, for 3 years
years.
now.
Maybe
Yeah.
this year's my year, guys. We're gonna do it. Opium.
Indeed. Exactly. Well, I have to. But it's no that just to reply to Abes. There hasn't been no. Varian hosted a tournament internet is Discord last year,
You
but
did,
other
yeah.
than that, there's nothing. There hasn't happened since my last one, which was I think Warband Trials, which is like my team game tournament I host. It's where you play 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4s, and it differs every week. It was inspired by Nilly. He mentioned it once, and at that time there was this like cutlery league rivalry going on, Spoon Clan and Knife and a Fork in T90's Discord. So, and it was like, okay, let's build a tournament for these guys. I think only one of them ended up signing up anyways, but it was fun. It was good. Also big learning experience, but
Both
yeah,
on you go, sorry.
No, but yeah, it was inspired by Nilly saying he wanted to do a tournament like with the different formats, but I didn't want to do the 1v1 because like my team had Robo carrying us always, and that's not so. We just put Robo in for 1v1, and we always win that. So it's like not a fair thingy. So I tried to work without 1v1s in it, but yeah.
1v1 tournaments are too easy, man. They're just a scoosh.
Yeah.
Just make a bracket, put people in. Like, very little drama. Just so easy. Finding it out. Anyway, let's circle back to the tournament. Just kind of like our talking points in the left-hand point. The left-hand of the scene here. And the first kind of thing is just the size of the bracket. It should be the biggest... I think the biggest team game tournament there's ever been. And the whole
I think it's the biggest
too.
tournament, yeah, in AoE too.
Yeah.
It's like I think the only one that could have been rivaling it would be the AoE Olympics, because there was no limit for the number of players you could have per country.
I think
Hui said himself that there was less players. I'm pretty sure the numbers for Nations Cup 2017 were around 100 teams, because my team, France C, we were like 97 out of 100 or something like that, and there were 570 players, something like that. So this is dwarfing it now.
It's massive.
It's kind of crazy.
Like, there might be 500 2K players in Nations Cup 2023. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think out of like the top like 250 team game players, there's not a lot that aren't involved, which is insane when you actually think about the country format and like how limited you are.
Yeah,
that's like just amazing.
That's sort of the thing actually that I find so fascinating, is that you have players that are signed up for Nations Cup that have never signed up for any other tournament that I know of. So it's like even people who like they're just playing the game on their own, and then they signed up for that. That's really cool, I think.
People love flags, man. What can we say?
Yeah.
People love flags. And there's like a lot of nations.
I mean, it was the right time to host it, like just after the Football World Cup and all that.
So. That certainly had a big impact. I have no doubt in my mind about that. That it was a great time to have that kind of hype, and I think in terms of like just player pools, also just a fantastic time, because it's arguably the deepest it's ever been, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we've had quite a few countries that have been very unexpected, to say the least. I've got Mongolia on screen right now, Cyprus about a minute ago. It's really amazing to see like some of these countries sign up.
Yeah. I think there's like 2 Indonesian teams. There's like a Cyprus team.
Yep, they're down towards the bottom as well. There's a Costa Rica somewhere, and they've actually got decent enough players. I was really surprised to see like a couple of the players around like that 1900 level. I was like, what? I
think the Haragorn guy I had seen in a couple other tournaments, so I'm not too surprised about them.
We got a Pakistan one here, which is amazing. We got Erner, who's like 2K1 at the moment, playing for Ecuador, and like the rest of the squad 1600, like 1700. I think it's amazing, and hopefully they have like some form of community there, and like he's like teaching or coaching like the rest of the team and like trying to drag up the level, which I think is one of the best things about the event, and like the potential impact it can have like within your kind of like micro community.
Yeah, and looking at the lineup, it's actually pretty nice as well. Like they have all the same level roughly, and Erner is gonna probably call the shots. And
Yeah, I guess it
Putting a lot of
helps.
pressure on me now for my team.
Good luck. What seed are you? What seed is South Africa, Panda? Can you remember? You guys,
I have it somewhere.
you guys, you're
We're
not as
like
low as us.
142.
Oh God, maybe you are.
We're down low. Yeah, we don't have the big names playing.
Wazard's going to be
for
calling the
us.
shots, Panda. What? Come on, that's
Yes. Oh, he moved to Germany, so we're gonna have somebody on flank that has less than 200 ping that can
Fog.
carry us.
Fog.
Yes. So we already we should actually be like seed 141 in really. Really, but yeah, it's gonna be hard because I think I've probably played more team games than all of them combined.
Mm-hmm.
So I needing to teach that, but I think it's gonna, for us at least, in the next Nations Cup we'll have a better team because there's some things happening in our community
You
which
should
might
be
get people
2K by
more
now,
active.
Panda.
Oh. I use the 200 millisecond ping excuse.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a chance if there is when there is a next Nations Cup. I expect us to have a decent team to not at least compete Bronze League there around.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think.
And looking at these teams, these are teams that are seeded 100 out of the 155 teams there. So that's the bottom 33 percentile, I guess. We have Ted here
Yeah.
for the UK. He's 1900. The teams above.
Look at that UK team. They're all above 1800. The top 4 is above 1800, and they're seeds almost 100. Well,
Yeah.
they probably have a pretty low team game rating, but that's still
Which drops them down a little bit.
crazy.
So it's 0.9, so they're not super low, below the team game factor. 1 being the average, of course, but enough to make a difference.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else. There was a couple more. There's a Costa Rica team there. You got John. Yeah, he's 2K, and then the other ones are 1700s or being 1800s. So very solid team. Seeded 86.
I think the Cyprus team has the biggest difference between one player and the other 3. Their top guy is 1500. Well, they are 1500, and the second one is 800.
Yeah, 800.
That's 700 elo points difference between the number 1 and the others, which means potentially there is a large margin for progress for them. I don't know how much they're gonna be able to call the shots and all that, but that's pretty crazy to see the level disparity.
Yeah,
That team.
for sure. The disparity, the conversation is very interesting to me. The Singapore team here as well. It's only a team of 4, and we've got someone that's 700 elo, and everyone else is 1500 plus. So that's a lot of pressure on that 4th player. That is a lot of pressure. The Serbia
maybe
team.
one of the Irish team as well. They have Finor, and then the others are a bit lower rated.
Trying to think of where
Maybe
that
they
island
actually have
is.
decent players, I think.
They get Barafet.
Yeah, they have
there as
1800
well.
players actually. At the island team.
Here it's here. They get Barafet.
82.
Yeah, it's solid. It's actually not too bad at all. Fenor's a big surprise. I'm really surprised to see him signed up with Ireland.
That's very cool.
It is, because he's just been away for so long, right? They were talking about players coming out of retirement and other things, and yeah, I was really surprised. But good. It's nice to have familiar names for people that have been around a lot, and then they're almost new names for people that are newer to the scene. But for you, Panda, you've obviously been watching forever, and you as well, Tarsiz. So it's kind of cool. You guys have the opportunity to see people be there, go away, then come back. Where it's just Fenor's just going to be a new person for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's many people who have never seen him play because he's been away for so long.
Was it him or his brother that started with the Scouts on Arena?
I think it was something that the two of them did
Yeah,
together. I think Melkor actually told me that during a UK meetup 2 years ago.
I do.
And but like the thing they made that made Fëanor famous was that he beat Slam in an arena tournament,
Mm.
and
beating up.
Melkor was coaching on the side, like telling him to go siege drives and stuff like that.
But
And I
wasn't
think
it
this
just like a one-off comment? He's like,
I
"Oh,
think
make
like
siege
what
ram."
he said is like it wasn't it was just a one-off comment, and he said, "Oh yeah, you should go see Ram in that situation." And the and Slam says that, "Oh yeah, but that was the key difference in the game," or something like that. And it was a close series as well, like probably like a 3-2 for Fëanor.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a bit of drama on AoE Zone after that. They changed their names, like their clan names was the Coachers at some point because yeah, like they
Beat easily on the ladder. So I'll be like, as a couple guys, I have 100% win record on the ladder, like at 1600 level, but they just shot up, and I just never did. Couldn't. Oh, I mean, I just didn't grind, but it's
Grinding is a way of life, Panda. Sorry.
he's too busy watching instead of playing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So we pick off there then, I think, from 58.
Okay, 58. Do we walk our way up, or?
I think we just keep working up to like we're gonna get to these like 40 teams, like the 40 to 32 is gonna be like these dark horse kind of candidates to make it into the top 32. So I guess we were on like Switzerland tier, like TR. Bullet was on the top 32 preview, and even he called TRM a big rager.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's
He
able to
did say
contribute.
also that he did say that himself, like Bullet, would probably not play a lot unless they have like water maps or this kind of stuff. I don't know if you will see him on the roster.
I think he'll play Nomad.
Yeah. Well, if there's Team Islands, Bullet is like a water fiend, so I think he would want to play on Team Island as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised at like their level. Switzerland.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it was. I like.
I mean, yeah.
I see some of these names, but I don't always connect. Like, oh, these guys are from Switzerland and that.
I think this Painkiller guy is probably underrated in 1v1. If he's 1900 team game, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I think that's. Bullet did mention two names. I think it was Painkiller and Abu Junhal, however you say that. I think he said they two would be like the big carry players. So obviously names that people have no idea about.
Yeah.
But 1900
because like I know there's like a Swiss guy that used to play with Anotov and on that crew. Lemon Jack was his username, but doesn't seem to be signed up with the Swiss team. And Pyropter is kind of the same as TRM because he's a nice guy, not a rager. But he's a 1v1 player, definitely. So he'll have to adapt.
Did he not make that scenario? There was a tourney on it.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, that's.
You like boom up for?
Merry-go-rounds?
Yes, merry-go-rounds. That was
like
a fun
you'd boom up
tournament
and then you'd fight at some moments. But I've played team games against Pyropter, and he's the kind of guy that will go skirms and all that. You know, like 1v1 reflexes. So, well, that was a while ago. It was when I used to still play, but
he played Tunnel with me, like after the Red Bull. I think he got scared afterwards.
Tunnel will do that to people. I mean, his team game elo is very low, 1484.
But I think if you're like that level, you should be able to pick it up pretty fast.
that's also what I think. I think it's probably easier for someone who's already 2K in 1v1 to pick up healthy team game reflexes than for someone who is very low in 1v1 to catch up like maybe 400 points difference.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on whether they have someone to call the shots and to tell you don't do that. I think that's something that's important.
You definitely need a good leader behind it all to do that. And if you're playing with complete like strangers and randoms, especially gamers, that might be a rare. It's probably more of a rarity than it's going to be common to have people like that. I think. I could be wrong.
You have people like what you mean?
It's probably going to be more challenging to have it's probably not going to be a normal situation where there's going to be that one person that will be like a proper leader within a team, knowing the kind of
Yeah.
the population of what gamers are like,
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be more rare.
I think it's gonna be frequent in teams that have one very good player and the rest is more average. Like if the level difference is such that you know that this person is really head and shoulders above the rest of the team, you know you can trust them. But if you're like kind of the same level, I guess there's like a temptation of thinking that you know best and not trusting what they say.
That could be
I think
an issue.
if you have let's say all of your team is like 1900 2K and you have very different views on certain things, that could
Yeah.
also be that could be very difficult to manage.
Yeah. And on the other hand, if you have a team like Serbia, where it's like 15, 1700 and Doubt, like you know you can trust Doubt, and he's gonna tell you what to do. It's probably gonna be the right thing as well. So
I think everyone's just going to be looking up at Doubt and expecting to be told everything.
Carry.
There'll be an absolute awe just playing with him as well. It's actually amazing to see.
Yeah.
Okay, moving up, we got Australia here. Hammer Time is a name that probably a lot of people familiar with. Not seen too much wrong in recent times. A really solid squad. Poland, I think this is Poland B. I believe so.
It should be,
It should be. The 50.
Very good team. ENFO and
That's Poland
Freddy's
B.
in there as well. Wonioski.
Yeah.
I only know Reddy in that team. The other ones, I don't think I've ever seen them, which is weird because I've seen a lot of players, but
Yeah, I know almost everyone in the Australian team below, but this Poland team I only know already.
Yeah, they play a lot of team games together, so it's one of these instances where they could upset a higher up team.
Yeah, like this Ilios clan. I think El Noniro is part of them as well. Like at least he has the tag, so
that's right.
Actually, if I did that bracket thingy, I think they might play against USAA, and then that chemistry could. Yeah, I don't know how correct my thing is, but yeah, they could play against USAA, and then could have a shot. You never know, especially with.
I would still favor USAA.
Of course, of course, but with
skill
that
difference seems to be quite high. But yeah, I could take a map or something like that.
Yeah, it could be a good result, or that go to the final game even, and that's where that because it's you talk about with bullets, it's kind of like 4-1v1 players and full team game players, right?
Mm-hmm. I honestly
how
think
they fit in against a good chemistry team.
Yeah, I honestly think the safest option for USAA is to drip feed these 1v1 players in with their usual team game squad and this kind of qualifiers, and not having Daniel play every single game. I think. I mean,
I think they need Daniel because he's so far ahead of the rest. He's a super strong player. So I think he needs to be there. But then the rest should be the the usual squad, and maybe some player can fit a different role.
Depending on where they're strong and
But like he's like 25-25 at the moment, top 20 in the world. So I think they have to use him, but they probably have to use him well. Like find the best role for him to be able
Yeah,
to carry.
yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in that dynamic. That'll be a good matchup to watch if that is if Panda's prediction is right. USA versus Poland B. That'll be a
Yeah,
nice
for
one.
sure.
Even above Poland, we got Slovakia now. A very solid team. Andre, Illusionist, Exact.
Maximus as well,
Yeah,
full-time player. I think this team is like I can expect I can see them do very well in arena.
it kind of looks like they should have good upset potential just looking at the team game rating. If they can like pull together and sorry,
Yeah,
looking at the 1v1 ratings, you could think they could cause an upset, but not looking at the team game rating because they're obviously a lot lower. But they could give someone some issues, I think, for sure in
and
qualifiers.
you don't know how often they've played together.
Mm-hmm.
and I think Andrej, he's unrated in team game, but that's probably a Smurf thing. I'm pretty sure he used to be very high on the ladder at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like he plays with the Rage Forest guys a lot.
yeah, it's hard to tell when people have multiple accounts in terms
Yeah,
of
for
like
sure.
what's their actual rating. If everyone just played in the one account, we wouldn't have any issues. But Age of Empires is a long way away from that happening.
Yeah. Who would they be facing if you trust your sheet? Panda?
If I try, wait, one sec. They are seed
They're at 52.
52. Canada. If
Canada, ooh.
yeah, it's
That's a tough one.
Oh boy.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? We could potentially have Illusionist versus Mentalist, which is something I've always wanted to see.
Yeah. I think like obviously we're 20 seeds away from the cutoff, so it's gonna be very lopsided matches in this range.
Yeah, and we're still even talking about like 2K1 players that have had like peaks of 2K3. I think if you move up,
Yeah.
somehow New Zealand are pretty high, but their team game is fantastic. And even I guess the rest of them are all like 1900 1v1, but led the way by Flightless.
New Zealand
Yeah.
is my team that I would love for them to get into gold. Even if I think
Who are they
won't
facing?
making it. Let's see. Poland A
Yeah, they're not gonna
is what I have.
Hmm.
I mean, like they like New Zealand because like I've played with them back in the day on Woobly, or I hanged out with the Oz
like, yeah.
and Z crew, and then sometimes I would join them and play. And then it's 500 ping games, but like yeah, so like they are the team I would love to make the gold league. Even
Yeah,
if
I'm just happy to see
Roll
Kiwi
impact.
so high rated.
yes, that is also nice to
1900
see.
now. Wow, moving
he-
up in the world.
Has he been grinding? Do you know, Panda?
Yeah, he's been grinding. He was he played with us last week,
seen
and it was
him get
1800
the
1v1.
campaign achievements on
He's been grinding that as well. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely picked up now the last couple of days. He's picked up some elo.
He has been inactive for a while, so I'm pretty impressed actually that he's managed to get back to his highest ever level so quickly.
Fun fact: Kiwi's the first person to make me rage quit in a game.
I think Kiwi has made a lot of people rage quit in games.
Yeah, it was.
But
And
so,
I was in a tournament.
yeah, I think
even
this
worse.
this team is playing well together because like the Australia and New Zealand community plays a lot of team games together because of like ping and all that. And didn't they say that this team beat Australia A in practice? So
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
like
sure I heard
was-
that, yeah, which was a big surprise to me.
so they definitely have the skills and the experience.
and
I don't
Flightless
think,
is also
yeah.
like
Unfortunately, I think Poland is a bit too high, but they can probably do pretty well in Silver League.
yeah, it's See, they should. I think they should be able to have a good run there.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope so. I think the best case scenario for them in that final round of qualifiers, if they get there, is to be competitive and give yourself a chance. And you know, if I told them that, I think they would be happy with that as well. I think they'd be quite happy just to get a good, reasonable chance.
Yeah.
And they'll also be like very well prepared. I know like the Aussies and the Kiwis, they really prepare for team game tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. There's one player, but I don't know if he's Australian. They're gonna be angry at me for that. Corin Tucker. I can't remember if he's from New Zealand or from Australia. He was also
The name
like
rings a
2K.
bell.
I think
Yeah, but
I think he's New Zealand, but
yeah, he was also
the
like
flags are
like
so
one of
similar. On Woobly, you know, they were so small, I could never tell whether they were
yeah, but
Australian or New Zealand.
if he's New Zealand, he would have also been a nice player to have there. I think I might be wrong, but he did a lot of prep for them, and that they had that good run in the improvement cups in
Yeah, that's true.
early 2019. I saw their prep sheets. It was crazy. They knew how players were gonna open the games. That's how prepared they were, and they swept both finals, the 3v3 and the 4v4. One game even included slinging Zane to 200 war elephants. That's how dominant and well prepared they were.
It's really amazing to see that kind of like level of preparation. It's what you would expect from like a top level team going into games. And I'm sure there is lots of top level teams that aren't getting anywhere near that kind of preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you can see sometimes from some players' streams where there's an Excel sheet. I think the stuff could be good.
I mean, Excel sheet is already a pretty good level of preparation. Like the true preparation is just like Notepad.
That is, things can get lost in Notepad, but then again, it can in Excel as well. But yeah, I guess to cap New Zealand off, they're the team I hope makes it, or would love to make it to Gold League.
Yeah, and they're obviously a smaller nation. It would just be good to see one of these ones, like a proper curveball to make the main event. I think New Zealand would definitely fall under that. Moving up then, we got Spain.
Yeah.
This is Spain.
Spain B, I think.
We got Poxel in here. Gauss, Kembrick. Team game ratings are looking nice. Not a bad team by any means. And then Morocco just above them as well. And it's like
so yeah, like Spain B is the team I'm rooting for. The same way Panda is rooting for New Zealand. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do. I think a lot of these guys could have been on the A team. That's the thing where Spain has a lot of guys in that 1900 to 2K1 range, but very few guys above that. Like they have Tato and Lan, and the rest are pretty much all at the same level. But I think this team is pretty homogeneous in level, and they have been playing together for ages. They used to be in the EYT clan on Vubli, Bira Itapas. So we'll see how they do. I don't think they get to the main event, but I want to see them facing against similar teams, like facing against Morocco, facing against New Zealand, Slovakia in Silver League, and see how they do.
Yeah. The bracket just get posted. I'm just gonna take a quick look.
Yeah.
What was your prediction for this one, Panda? And we can cross-reference it. And if you get one right, you get them all right.
This is Spain B.
Yeah.
I have them against Austria.
Okay, your predictions should be spot on then.
Okay.
So good job. They're in a pool 11.
I just Tarsiz inspired this because he posted assuming like the top 20 the final qualifying round is, and I was like, so if this is like this, and I just like expand it from there, and then try to fill it in, and then I guess it worked itself out. The only question is if I copy it right from this sheet. I might have copied 1 or 2 before the final seedings were done. So, but that's probably only a low-rated problem. But I think
Australia is going to be a tough matchup for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think though, like,
I
they have
mean,
good team on paper, and
which one is Germany F as well?
see, Germany.
There's a lot of German teams. A lot of German teams have obviously got a huge.
Okay, Germany
community.
F I think is 79. Folder of Doom, Imperial CC, Botkin Arrow, etc. I think that's them. I think that's the sixth German team. So Imperio, actually really solid player. It's interesting that he's playing
kind
in
of
a
high for
lower-rated
his
team.
team, right?
Yeah,
I
but
think
maybe
compared to the
it's
rest
just
of
like,
the players.
like friendships and those kind of stuff. So
I think he was recruited from what I was told from Folder.
he? Oh, he was recruited by Folder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm sure there has been some of that going on, trying to secure players for your team specifically. Morocco above them. McLuffy is playing a good Timo, Hideo, Wardrum. They're a decent level here.
Yeah, and they play a lot of team games together.
Yeah, so they should have kind of good chemistry and synergy between each other. They've been practicing a lot in the last month, and they are slated to be playing the UK A team in the last round of the qualifiers.
UKA?
UKA?
Nice. So we have Kingbu against McLuffy.
I have them wrong. So I made a mistake somewhere on my sheet. But yeah, that's kind of big.
Yeah, and even UKC in this one as well, which I believe
Is that Alfred?
I think that's Alfred and T and Co. Is it not? Or is that
It
the
might
B
be
team?
UK. Okay, no. Alfred is UKB. UKC is Pete, Dan, Ria, Aten, and Aristocats.
That's funny. So that'll be their first game. Cats and Co. They'll be playing Morocco.
That's already a pretty interesting matchup. I think
Yeah.
Morocco is gonna be favorite in that, but it could be close.
That's like the United Kingdom group. In round 1, you have Belarus against UKF, and then the winner plays UKA, and you have Morocco A against UKC, and then the winner plays against the winner of the other one.
Yeah, it was so unlikely that with the the rules we had with four teams per nation can't make the main event. We didn't do any rigging at all. But it's just like the statistical chances that happen. It's just like so microscopically low, even without any rigging. There's so many of these groups have double ups. I can see like more.
I think the only way it happens is like if China signed up 4 teams somehow, but they only have 2, I think.
Yeah, and they certainly could have made 3. Like 3 good teams
Yeah.
as well, but I don't think anyone's really capable of having 4 teams in the top 32.
Brazil has 4 teams in the top 37, which is pretty crazy.
Yes.
But that's the highest one.
There's just so many like Brazilian and Argentinians around that 2D
And France
plus
has
level.
Yeah.
Okay, but Taiwan. I think this is Taiwan C, if I remember correct. Or is it the B team?
B is Rory. C is Rays. Okay, so that's Taiwan C.
Oh yeah, we already went past C earlier.
So this is the B team with Rory, who's been around.
Oh yeah, that's the B team actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for years.
It's like if you're gonna say the C team, it's like that's a really good C team.
Yeah. And
I mean, the C team is pretty much the same level. They're just like a few seats behind. They're 56. and this one is
Yeah,
48.
that's pretty close to each other.
Rory is the first guy I ever played in a tournament
Oh,
on
really?
Age of Empires. I played him in a HD tournament back in 2017. I was probably like 1500 on HD, and he was 2k on Woobly, so that was probably around 800, 900 point difference. And we played a double TC map that didn't go well for me.
Oh god, I
I
can
could-
imagine a 10-minute game.
Oh yeah, maybe 15. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
this
who
team
are
should
they
be.
playing?
They're playing Argentina B in the final round if they do get there. They've got Mexico D
Yeah.
first. I'm kind of interested to see how they do because most of like the Taiwanese community just play like Nomad day after day after
Mhm.
day. I'll be interested to see how they do in like other maps and if they actually prepare for them. But like Nomad
Yeah.
should certainly be like an instant ban if you're playing any of the Taiwan teams.
Yeah. I could see them do very well on Arabia and Nomad, but how well they will be
Team
prepared on other
Islands,
maps? Yeah.
especially because Team Islands gets really messy,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not be surprised if they do a double landing.
Maybe
Even
maybe
that's
even Chaos Pit to a certain degree.
Mhm.
To me, that kind of would make sense. You know, like a lot of the Taiwan community are quite happy to do a douche on Nomad, which is not really something you see from like a lot of other top teams. So that kind of strategy they would be more than happy to implement. And like
Yeah.
all the
The
show
top guy in the
matches.
team, Ares Die, I
Aye.
think. The Ares clan on back on Woobly was like a Chinese clan, and they used to be doing this kind of very aggressive strategy. Like I think Stray Dog was part of that clan, and during Nations Cup, they no not Nations Cup, but the Escape Champions League qualification, they all went forward on Finland on the Arabia game, almost won it. So maybe he's a part of that. Well, maybe he plays that style. This guy, I don't know that player at all, but
Mm-hmm.
could
Hard
be
to know the
something.
other ones with the characters in
Yeah,
Mandarin as well.
sure.
But Argentina B final round of qualifiers should be relatively tricky. That's Campoch's squad and the rest of the
Yeah,
DS guys, so that's Berry's team.
yeah. I
Uh,
could see Taiwan winning Nomad against that team, but I don't think they won the rest.
yeah, I would agree. They're probably that's like the best case scenario for them is taking a game in that final round.
Yeah.
Okay, moving up then, we got
then
USB. This is the
this
Tuna
is
squad. This is actually a
Yeah.
very solid team and with a lot of team game experience, and they've got a massive roster to pick from here, so they can pick and choose certain players to play certain maps depending on their strengths.
Mhm.
I would personally, I think they have a chance to make it.
So it depends on the bracket, I guess.
Turkey A.
They playing Peru B, and then most likely Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey.
Turkey. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And just because, I mean, also a lot fanboys. Some
Yeah.
other players are, and I think if I had to like say, I think for the final run there will be a upset. This is the
Yeah.
the team I would back.
I mean,
Because,
it's
to make
possible, I
it.
guess. They have solid players. They have also quite a variety of skills. I think a lot of these guys, I am Zach, Rooster, they play Black Forest, Motastic as well. So they're probably capable of playing on closed maps, open maps,
And I
and they
think
play together a lot as well. So that's
also
probably
someone like Big Tuna, if you look at his 1v1 compared to his team game
yeah,
rating,
for sure.
it's definitely better than that 1v1 rating
The one
indicates.
thing I would be worried for this team is the lack of one very good player. Like the top rate is either Mununez or Veer's Pulse, with like the highest of 2100. And like you put them against someone like Turkey with like Kasvaz at 2500. That's quite a big difference. So we'll see how they can
Yeah,
hold up against that. But
and
overall, I like this lineup a lot.
most of the other Turkey team is like they're all like 2K2, 2K3. Trying to find them on the
Yeah.
seeding sheet here. They are very solid. 2K3, Casva currently, peak of 2K5, 2K2, 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 2K1, 2K1, and then like all of them have had peaks in the 2K3 region pretty much. So
Yeah.
and they play a lot together as well. So
Yeah,
it's
I'd
gonna be
say the US team probably has better chemistry because they have played more. But since they have that slight deficit in like pure like mechanical skills and yeah, like 1v1 rate, don't know if they will be able to compensate for that. But that should be a very good one to watch. I know they will be prepared as well. Like Locke likes to prepare very
Yeah.
well,
mm,
so that should be a great one to watch.
Also, it's
for sure.
not that I know a lot about the Turkey players, but it's also a question of how many of them are just like Arabia only style players.
yeah. If they could get caught out in lack of
Yeah.
preparation on maps,
Yeah.
I think on certain maps.
Yeah, that's
I think Doctor Cosmonaut and Casva are probably pretty well rounded.
Cosmo
I've seen them
is he
play
likes water player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually beat him in AW Olympics on Rooster. He
Which
was
one?
Dr. Cosmo.
Yeah, but what was his rate? That's one
Back
of those
then
guys
he
that
was
was like
1500.
Okay.
yeah,
and I was
1600 a year
I was
ago,
1300 then, and
yeah.
like I was so, and he afterwards asked me like, "You Smurf?" I was like, "No, I just like at least back." I was like, "Oh, I just like playing water." But it's like also it's one of those. I don't know if I was during the break were saying like somebody I played and I've beaten before, and then
Yeah.
they
And
just
now
went
he's
up.
super good.
Yeah, like I'll never be able to match ever with him again. But yeah, it's such a. I know he's a pretty well-rounded player, and so yeah, but it's the question of the whole team, how comfortable they are on something different. And there's a lot of space for preparation.
Yeah, we're getting towards like the lower teens, and these teams from potential goal teams anyway. So we are kind of like dropping down the skill level, but I think that's a very difficult task for USAB to overcome that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one.
Sure.
Italy is just above them, and if I remember right, they have Taiwan A.
Yeah. That they are Italy B, and they're actually playing Bulgaria A in the first round, which is Locust team. Locust is the one with the most team games played on Vubli. I just checked that. He has like 8,000.
He's a team game fiend, to say the least. Maybe that'll give him a good, but to be honest, maybe that'll give him a good warm up in preparation for Taiwan, because it's I don't think it's good for you to just go and play a team in, let's say, your first round and absolutely clap them 3-0 and not really learn anything. But if you're tested and still get through it,
for sure,
it's much better to do that and then take that into someone that's better than you. So maybe that'll serve them well. I think Italy B could. I think they could, in theory, upset them, but they need to be very well prepared.
I've said Taiwan. That's a bold prediction. I would not say that. I don't think they can upset Taiwan, but it's a solid lineup and they play a lot together for sure.
They do. I mean, they've got Meteor.
I think Taiwan is also like a very strong team. So
I agree. I do agree. I have question marks on how much they're preparing. It was kind of like the same thing with Taiwan B outside of like Nomad and Arabia. Like, and I guess Arena I would feel comfortable with. I know Cloud has been playing some BF, so it's these other maps like Two Rivers and maybe Team Acropolis. I don't see them too motivated to go and practice Team Acro for some reason. It's not really. I can't see them jumping up with joy.
Just go play meta there. which will end up, the I think it's Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
That was a rough one to watch yesterday. Team Acropolis.
Yeah, that was an interesting game for sure. Okay, moving up. Romania now. They were in the show match with the UK team at the beginning. They get beat 5-0. When that show match was first organised, the Romania were sitting around 20 on the seed sheet. And now they're at 45. The UK have dropped 10 places, so they've not dropped anywhere near as much as the Romanians. But, like, looking at the team, it's really not too shabby when you look at it on paper. They got, like, multiple players
Romania
around.
is a team I had my eyes on when I was preparing for today because of Mihai. Like, he's so strong and actually doing very well in 1v1 tournaments as well at the moment. Like, I think he's like almost sure to qualify for the final phases of the T90 Titan League's Gold League, so that's already pretty good. And 2500, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, from what they are practicing a good amount. Andre has not really been involved from what I can see. But I don't know how much of a difference he would make to the team anyway, if I'm being fully honest.
Yeah, probably best to like remain with the rest of the team, like the ones that have been playing together.
I think so. But you could see the temptation of having a 2K1 player come in. Let's say he does come in now.
Yeah.
And be like, well, I want to get involved. And then like you're maybe drop someone else that's already like up to speed, or maybe not quite just there yet, but getting there and making progress. And then you have the temptation to see this 2K1 player, and before you know it, they're either further. There could be a good chance they're even further behind than what that player that subbed out.
Yeah. So without Andre, what is the regular lineup? Like, I guess Mihai, Saps, Raven, and is Nectary the fourth?
Nectary and Master Tim has been playing a little bit, and wouldn't really expect to see Alexander at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Nectary, yes.
I guess yeah, it makes you can like I think Andre, Saps, and Raven, despite the rating difference, are probably around the same level, like in team game. Like Andre would not make a huge difference compared to the other two. Then Nectary and Master Team, it starts to be quite a lot of difference in skill. So I don't know. I guess ideally they would find a way to work with Andre. I don't know if he's like not that interested in team games or whatever. We don't. Maybe he didn't have time to practice with them. Yeah, like that could be that.
Because he's usually like a morning player, right?
I mean, he's busy playing those two or 3 days matches with Rube and stuff. So.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's it makes it hard to practice. Yeah.
Anyway, they are scheduled to play against Czechia A, aka Yannick and France, if they make it to the qualifying round.
I don't really give them a chance against Czechia.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And they have to get there.
But
first.
I'm hoping for them to pull themselves together in silver and do well.
I think that's a very realistic and good goal for them, is to try and get a good performance in Silver League. Take the qualifiers, learn what you can, and then really apply yourself in the Silver League.
For sure.
And there's been a lot of players over the years that have played at Silver and ended up being, very good players. It's taken years for people to really get to that point. I know Mihai's on a little bit of a shorter time scale in terms of like how much he wants to commit to AoE. He's given himself a year to get to, I think it's top 16 or top 8 of an S tier.
He's a very young guy.
Yeah.
19-year-old.
Yeah. So he needs he's set good goals. I think they are maybe achievable. But putting the time frame on it can be difficult for sure.
Yeah, he's currently leading Group B in the Gold League. He won against Classic Pro, against Semi Name, against Ripard and lost against Sobek. So that's pretty good wins already against well-established players.
Yeah, hopefully that's a good opportunity
Especially-
for him to move up.
And although I know it's been more than a year now, but being same in name is impressive. Because same in name gave Viper and King of the Desert a very good run for his money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
I
one
mean,
set,
Semi
which
is like one of these guys who's been playing forever.
yeah.
Um,
Which,
I think
while I
ACCM
know
said
it was
that
a while
semi-name.
ago,
I think ACCM he said that semi-name he plays more AOE 1 than AOE 2, and then still comes back to AOE 2, plays at like 2k4 level. So
It's crazy.
I don't think I'd be able to do that. Like switch between games
yeah,
and keep my level.
Very different games as well. Very different. Okay, I think we're up to Finland B. Sorry,
Finland's-
C now.
I think it's Finland C.
It's Finland
this one.
C.
It's a C.
And they would be facing the Kano team, and
Ooh, that's interesting.
yeah. So I don't think they've really got a chance of actually upsetting them anyway. Let's have a look at the ratings. I mean,
Maybe they win.
their team game rating is not too shabby, but there might be a little bit of playing with the other Finland A and B guys and maybe having a boosted rating, but I could be wrong. But they are
I've
good
seen
players.
a couple of them. Clear with it. Like Finland A players. It could make a difference, maybe. How big of a difference is the question.
They have a lot of points of difference with Mexico B, like 200, 300 points almost for each of them. So
It's a lot to overcome.
yeah, it's a uphill battle.
A very large one, a very steep uphill battle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just delete TC and win. That's a
Yeah, exactly. Pick Chaos Pit, pick Nomads. They have to try and get the Mexicans out of their comfort zone, which I'm not too sure, but I honestly have very little idea what their comfort zone is in terms of like map choices. So
Yeah, I could see this Finland team take games of the Mexicans if they find like a map they are really good at, and yeah, make something happen. But it's actually crazy. Like they have such high team game rates. Their 1v1 rates are super low in comparison to the other teams next to them. Like Romania in comparison has much higher rates, but
yeah,
I mean that
1v1.
that should mean something unless they've been boosted by playing with the top team.
I don't think it has that big of an impact. To get 1900, you need to be.
solid.
sure.
You need to know what you're doing on the team
For
game
sure.
ladder to get there.
Yeah.
It's not. 7 months ago.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll upset, but could be like a close one.
Yeah, good series.
Mm-hmm. Above
Next one is super interesting though.
we've got France. This is France C, if I remember correct.
Yeah. So technically, I think it's France B. France B is 41. France C is 43.
Yeah,
But
this is France C. Yeah.
change like just like I think maybe DFX lost a couple points and PLP won a couple points and it switched the order between those two teams. But
Oh,
I think
really?
France C, yeah, I think France C is a much stronger lineup than France B.
Huh. I didn't actually
Team
notice
game.
that the swap.
Yeah, they used to be B, and then the other guys maybe started playing more games or get higher rates, and they became B. But I think the C team is the true France B.
Hmm.
They're scheduled to play against Australia A.
Ooh.
I'm calling the upset.
I think it could
Oh,
be a good
actually,
matchup.
they're actually playing Serbia A in the first match. That's gonna be a sick qualification
Oh.
round.
Yeah, that'll be an
They're
interesting
playing
one to watch.
out in the first round, and then they have to upset Robo in the qualification round.
Well, more than just Robo now.
Yeah, of course.
It's a shame they don't have Zayn in the team, but I've just heard he's just too busy.
Yeah.
IRL, because that would have been a really solid addition for them. I think there's upset potential there for sure. I really do. Oh, wait, you'll know better than me, but from what I've been told, a lot of the French players do play with each other in preparation, and also playing with the top level players, so they'll have all the
Yeah.
intel in terms of what the prep, like the strategy, the go-to strategy is going to be in like certain maps.
Oh, for sure. I mean, these guys, the top 5 of them, they've been playing with Citeau and Margou all the time. So they're just like slightly lower in 1v1 skills, but they have both played together a lot, like Shulk, Caput, DFX, and Toin, and with the top guys. So they are all very well-rounded players uh, with experience playing together. I think they're a very dangerous team. Obviously, I know more about them because, well, they're French, but
Yeah.
uh, and I could underestimate other teams' preparation, but I've seen these guys play, and I think they can really hold their own.
So we think there's reason for concern for the Aussies.
I think it's gonna be probably one of the best qualifying matches.
That's going. That's putting one on it, and we're only at 43.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see, right? It definitely would.
Yeah, and I'm expecting the Aussies to be well prepared on all maps. These guys are also like very strong on like water maps, hybrid maps, and all that. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I remember in the ULC final, Tifu.
Yeah.
I went like for that set. I was so prepared. I even went to practice against people on Ghost to Mountain just to play like water because I've seen what they've done and I had like an idea how they're gonna do this. I practice and I practice with Roach. He's not playing here. He's like a old T90 player, like German guy. But I practiced with him on like, okay, this is what he does, and mimic this, and then he just comes and pulls out an 18 pop triple dock build on water, and I was just like, what the heck? It just came out of nowhere, and I was just so like, is it demoralizing? Like you put in so much prep, and then he just like pulls
How
out
do
something.
I compete with this?
Yes, exactly. And I was like, that was not that I'm most best water player, but I was like, I think I can hold my own against him at least. And then suddenly just like, oh wait, no, I cannot. There was, yeah, but as Tarsiz says, they are good, like water and hybrid map players. It's
I think they'll be a good challenge for Australia for sure.
Yeah.
Which, let's just assume the Aussies do get to the main event, then they'll probably feel thankful they had, a tough matchup on the way there, which would serve them well getting into the main event if they do. Of course, that's a big if.
Agree.
Now Germany at 42. This is crazy. What we have a team at 42, and this is Germany. D. So they got 4 teams in the top 42, which is very, very strong.
Yeah. Germany D is playing against. They're gonna be playing against Germany G or UK H, and then against Norway.
Which I'm sorry, guys.
So it's gonna be
you've not got a chance
uphill
in hell.
battle.
You've not got a chance in hell.
Especially if you consider what Norway is good at. Like the show match against France showed that Norway is great at close maps. If you look at this team, their best 2 players are arena experts.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have like this kind of like upset potential, you want there to be some sort of like mismatch.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like there's one there for Germany D versus Norway,
No,
which is
I
unfortunate
don't
for
think
them.
so. Yeah.
But all in all, they're like decent players. Stefan, Blackheart, AR.
R12, yeah, and Akeno is pretty strong as well, despite his rate. He's also like a long time player. Used to play in the T90s Discord tournaments.
He's been around for a while.
And like, he has always struck me as someone who's like talented, doesn't play a lot, but when he plays, he can up his rate pretty fast. So yeah, also a strong player.
But I think they do get to that last qualifier round. It's a nice experience to play
Oh yeah,
Norway as well, right? Lining up against
yeah,
Viper MBL, especially. It's just one of the good things about Nations Cup and having an experience like that.
for sure.
And maybe even taking a game off.
Exactly, and that could be something like that
Yeah.
you could like cling on to.
Which
I don't know what map, but like it could be
yeah,
something you cling on to for like years, and it's just like it'd be a really fun memory for people to look back on.
like that. Yeah, that's kind of the question. Like, which map would they take from Norway? Because I can see this team being really good on Arena, but Norway is Arena specialist nowadays. So I don't see Stefan beat Viper or MBL on Arabia. It's like, but we'll see.
Could maybe catch them out on the hybrid maps.
I think Two Rivers. I don't know if the Norwegians have even played a practice game of Two Rivers, so maybe that's their.
Didn't
think
Norwegians
Rivers-
the Norwegians don't like that map.
No,
From
but
what
it's an old map. Viper has played tons of games in older tournaments for this map. He knows what to do in this map.
Rob, do you think his memory's going back that far? There's no way.
I think so.
I think it'll reboot after like a few minutes. He's like, I kind of recognize this, but I don't think he
Did-
actually.
the question is whether you guys kept the same name. Was it always called Two Rivers, or was it
Yeah.
called Twin Rivers?
No, it was
back in
always
the
two.
Two
No,
Rivers?
it's
Because
the
I think
same
it was
name.
a Wars Coming app,
Yeah,
and Viper
that's right.
won
That is
Wars
right.
Coming. So he's gonna look at the map and he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, like back in the day we used to do this and that," and
And
I think that's what happens.
the original script is also Norwegian as well, so there's no excuse for not knowing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tough one for them. Let's move on
Tough
to
one, yeah.
France B.
France B, yeah.
France C, who cares? They're the France team. They're there at 41.
They are France B technically. They earned that seed.
Yeah, they did earn it. And they're going to be
Oh,
playing
they're
Finland
there.
E if they get all the way to the end.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Finland B, yeah. So Juppe,
Well, first France B has to beat Cyprus A, who will dominate that bracket.
Well, Cyprus is probably gonna have a hard time against USD, but
I know, but I have to back them. They've always backed the underdog. I'm backing the real underdog
sure.
this time. So Cyprus A is going to qualify there.
Yeah. So this French team is interesting because I don't think they have like if you look at the rates, they have stronger 1v1 players, but I think the team game reflexes are not quite there. I think the best team game player in the team is by far Poseidon. So he has to be the one calling the shots, talking about strategy, and that's something he does. Like I've played with him. I was with him and Sniper in a 3v3 tournament, and he was the one like calling the shots, saying, "Oh yeah, you do this and you do that." So he's pretty good at directing the play and all that. But I don't know. I'm not as confident about this team as I'm about France C. So
I
I
mean,
think it's gonna be tough for them.
even I would have said I just expected so much more from Finland. Being yesterday in the show match against the Swedes, I know the Swedes are probably underrated, but honestly, there was like some massive question marks on the games that just didn't fill me with confidence at all. Like Upe having like a 10-minute feudal age time on flank on Arabia. That to me
That's unforgivable.
That's fucking insane. Like in this current meta, that's like so far off. So the Swedes all had up times in the 8-minute range, and then he's like a minute and a half behind some other people, and that's like to me that's just super weird. So I don't know. Maybe the Finns aren't as well prepared as I maybe thought they would be, and maybe there is some potential there.
Yeah, that's possible, and again, that's also a team that I think I would favor on Arabia and maybe like water maps, pure water maps. So we'll see. I think Finland B is probably quite strong and some stuff like very late game maps, Black Forest,
Mhm.
and completely messy map like Chaos Beat, Nomad.
Mhm.
So it could be an interesting one as well.
I
I'd say
think,
Finland B is slightly favorite.
yeah, I think this could be the kind of match where the neutral game one map could be absolutely crucial because I can see France maybe winning their two home maps.
Yeah.
I can see Finland winning their two home maps and trying to like game the system a little way where you're gonna get a preferred map for that game one map is gonna be really important for the result of it, and it could be for a lot of teams. In fairness,
Yeah, for sure.
essentially all you gotta do is win that neutral map and win your home maps, and you're gonna be home and dry, and you'll be into the main
Yeah.
event. I'll be interested to see the draft strategies as well in terms of like really going for it. You know, maybe just prioritize your home maps and your neutral map, and just don't even care about
Yeah.
the home maps of the other team, and just
Like
really
go for
hone
the
in.
3-2.
Yeah, just go for the free two. You know, take that risk if you're maybe not got if you're the underdog, and really just try and hone in on
Yeah.
it.
Sounds like Norway's draft against France the other day. They kept on drafting for Black Forest even after they had like 8 Black Forest sims. It was that's a bit overkill though, but it's a strategy.
Well, they still had Vikings for 2 rivers, I think. So that's maybe it would have worked.
Maybe if there weren't
We'll
the
never know.
DC issues.
Maybe, maybe. Okay, 40 Argentina here. This is Argentina C. They're going to have a bit of a grudge match in the last round of qualifiers because they're likely to play Brazil B, provided they get there. And Brazil B
Oh.
just signed up towards the end, and this is the team that has Riot included, which was a massive surprise. We got VH in
Yeah.
there, Alive 2. We got Jose, who's Posito down at the bottom, big team game player.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting lineup. A lot of the KGB guys are involved, so they should have good kind of chemistry between each other.
Mhm. I mean, looking at the Argentinian lineup, they have guys from 4 teams. Looking at the oh, I think Nerofox is updating the sheet.
He's doing
It'll
work
just
right now.
disappear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's like
So
TM guys.
yeah, TM guys. There is Dars. There is Xever, and there was
Gurges.
like one other. But I'd say Brazil should be heavy favorites at this matchup.
I would agree quite heavily. Yeah, I don't know who's going to play for Brazil B. Riot's kind of leading the way in terms of the seeding sheet for them. I don't even know if
Yeah.
he's going to play many games. That is a big question mark, but I know a lot of people will be hoping he does.
Is he
Um,
active?
he's not, that's the thing, but could he be?
I'm not sure he's gonna play, but even without him, I think that team should be like heavy favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Okay, we're on to 39 here, so we can go on to the last few
Probably
teams
last one.
before we get to the top 32. See, Nair Fox is doing some work. Uruguay team is an interesting situation because we do have Sebastian in this team. This is right, yeah? Yes, this is the team
Yeah.
with Sebastian. And they're likely to be playing
Vietnam B.
Vietnam B. Now, as far as I'm aware, the Uruguay team have been playing quite a bit together, and the other players are all around like 1900-ish, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've actually gained some 1v1 elo since they've started practicing a lot more together, so maybe they can continue to improve a little bit, and Vietnam B is probably going to be a tough matchup for them.
Vietnam B
Nice.
has a pretty high team game score, like the 114. Uruguay is 112, so it's not that big of a difference. Sebastian is probably the best player in this match, but I think the rest of the Vietnamese team is probably better than Sebastian's teammates. Like Hope, Dislov, Fast, Cheap. Cheap, Fast, and Dislove used to play on Voobly, so they are very long time players, very experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will be tough for them.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that's another feel-good story. If Uruguay get into gold, I would really like to see that.
Yeah,
That's
I'd love to see that.
that's a team I'm really pulling for to get there. Okay, next one up is Russia B, and this is a very odd squad. It's a very large squad as well. I've not got the names in front of me now, so I can't quite remember everybody. But this is a team
You can there still have the names if you go in the seeding tab. So speed limit, antagonist, Morg,
that works.
the other guys.
I need to find them.
So it's Morg's team.
It's exactly right. That's the way I know them. It's Morg's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are the unfortunate souls who are gonna play China B in the qualifying match.
Yeah. Good luck. No chance for you.
No, I don't think so. China B's incredibly stacked. Bad Koala, Ming, Jibatong, Stray Dog, I Buy Power, Dragon Bow, and the other ones are also pretty good. Duidi, Xiao Chong, and Oton. Oton is the only one I don't know. But like, wow, what a squad.
I know they're down there at number 27 now.
It's because they have such a bad team game rate.
And they just don't care either. That's the thing. They have no interest in actually getting their seed up. It's like, I'll just play what's in front of us. Who cares?
So I think Shed said something like they're just playing Arabia and Nomad and they don't care.
And their lobby games, yeah.
Like they could be losing Arena against that Russia B team or something like that, but I don't think there's enough maps for Russia B to take it. Like I don't think they can take the neutral map.
Mm-hmm.
Morg's gonna carry, so don't worry. I just, yeah, it's a character.
Character is certainly a word for it.
Yeah.
He gives the team character as well.
Yeah, you got antagonist, speed limit. I'm not sure this is Cyrillic. This other one is.
That is, I think, I might be wrong. I don't know who that is.
Does he
but
have
I know,
an AKA on
I want to say, I think that is. I can't think of the name now, but I think I know who it is. But then the TXT clan, and they play a lot together. Some of these players, so they could potentially have good chemistry at least going for them. But
I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, it's not gonna be enough for. Not for.
No. Let's go on to 37. That's Brazil D. And I actually really like the look of this team. They've got Gabi in there, Onleke's in there. Top 2 players.
Jubilu as well, yeah.
And they are slated in the last round to play Brazil D against
They're
Sweden
probably
A.
gonna be against Sweden A
Sweden
if
A.
I'm not wrong.
That's not great.
That's also a pretty tough draw.
It's a very tough draw, and Sweden did look very impressive yesterday against Finland B, so probably a very difficult one for them to overcome. But maybe they can take a game or two and focus on Silver League. That's the kind of team that should really be focusing on Silver League for IMO.
Yeah. The Brazilians, they're all names that I've seen before, so I'm guessing they have been playing together for a long time. Well-rounded, hopefully. But yeah, that Swedish team with Genji as the star player is just very strong.
Yeah, and they've got good team game players as well, which does kind of elevate them a bit.
Yeah.
Brazil C are just above them on 36. Do you think that Brazil C are better than Brazil D?
I think they are exactly the same level, honestly. Like I don't know them well enough to.
I think I'm with Tarsiz. I think they are evenly matched.
Yeah. I know more of the names in Brazil C, I think. Faraday, Paganini. I think they're brothers, maybe.
They play a
They have been
lot
playing together
together.
for a long time.
Yes.
Martin HS. I think Anti Demon is a guy who used to play like only one map on Fubli. Is it the guy who always plays Migration, or am I mistaking him? Oh,
Panda?
maybe no.
I
I'm probably mistaking him for Rui Lopez, who's another
Yeah,
Brazilian
that
guy.
was Rui Lopez. He would only
Yeah.
play migration, and if you beat him, he blocks you from his lobby.
Oh, okay.
So it was like two more higher than 2K only playing.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a solid player, but only playing Migration. Kenshin, also like an old-time player. Clark, I don't know. But yeah, like I think those two Brazil teams, they have essentially the same level, and yeah, Brazil C is playing Italy A.
Which Italy do have some question marks in terms of like, is Vodka going to be involved? Who's a very good player and he's been inactive for quite a minute,
Hello.
quite amount of time. So they do have the brothers. They have Cami and they do have Nani Marin, aka Pete Martel. Rise is in there as well, who's been playing a little bit more recently, and then Shades and
Shades,
Xiaoxi. You told me this the other day.
Salsicciotto.
Xiaoxi Chotto. 1999. I guess that's his birthday or year he was born. Who are both a lot more active and have
Yeah.
both made the A squad.
So Kamigawa and Vodka are the reigning Silver League 2v2 World Cup champions. They beat Say My Name and I think it was
Bad
Song
boy.
Song. No, it was Say My Name and Fish
Ah,
in the
Ah,
final.
didn't
So
Bad Boy play there, or was
Bad
he
Boy
on?
was China B. It was Vietnam B. Bad Boy and Song Song were Vietnam B,
Ah.
and they didn't play the Silver League
Oh
because they
wait,
were
wait.
in the Gold League. They
I'm mixing up.
flashed T90, and then they lost to ACCM and Bacti.
Ah.
But yeah, I think Italy A, if the squad is at full strength, should be a very strong team because they have been playing team games for a super long time and they have results to back it up. Like I think at the beginning of DE there was this like European kind of championship that was a bit weird because like you had Australia was
Benelux.
invited, they had a US team, they had a Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg team, like yeah, all this kind of stuff. But Italy won in the end. So and with that lineup against I think against Germany, so they are a very strong team.
Mm-hmm.
Actually they play. I remember they had hideout with like the acacia trees, so it was you weren't always safe in that tournament.
Huh.
That's the
Oh
only thing I remember. That's the only thing I remember from it.
yeah,
That'd be
I know the
But
French
boy,
teams took it pretty seriously.
there was
So
some
yeah,
drama as well. That's what there was like you were supposed to play like one play like under 1800 or something, and then they just at some stage the rule just went away, and then the Australian team kind of got screwed over from. If I remember, it was like this like 3 years ago now,
yeah.
but that was a. This is my question for this is who is going to be the second pocket? Because like Kamigawa's obviously gonna
I
slot
think
in there.
Shades is
Is
second
it
pocket.
usually whenever I've seen him play, he's on flank, but
Okay.
that could, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure every time I've run into him on the ladder, he was playing on the flat. He was playing on the flank, and
I think Vodka and Nani Marin should be flanks. And
yeah,
then
because definitely
because Nani
if
Marin,
he plays,
aka Pete Martel, is kind of a like a chaos player. I think like, very creative. Uh, he's playing a lot actually. He came back from a long time not playing.
he was also very hyped up back on Rudley.
But like he has stopped playing for a few years and then he came back recently, I think.
Yeah, they'd signed up Rowers of Rome for Nomad Wars 3 in the last tourney, which
Yeah.
was a bit of a surprise. And Animarn was on it, Kami was in it, and then they were signed up with like Sleepy Swede from Sweden
Yeah.
and a couple of other people. So in the ROR squad, and the ROR squad's huge, so couldn't really name all of them off, but they've definitely
The
been
whole
active.
the whole team is above 2200 in 1v1 rates. So that's a pretty solid lineup.
But
Uh,
you would still be
and the
expecting Kami.
Brazilians are 2100. So I would say Italy is slightly favored, but it could be an interesting matchup looking at the rates.
Yeah, I would say you can be confident Kamigami will be the one like calling all the shots. So for Italy,
Yeah. I think Kamigawa is probably the most solid player on that team.
Yeah.
he'll be a very good team captain for them.
And he has those nice cozy pocket bases always going on. I don't know if you've guys seen like he'd be pocket and it'd be so like crammed but perfect. When you're watching his base setup, it's like, oh, there's 3 TCs on the screen. He has 40 farms and everything is like unraidable. Like it just looks nice.
Yeah.
But you say they're gonna play against? As well, most likely against Brazil C. Yeah,
They're Brazil C, yeah.
Yep.
yeah, it's should be a easy one. Oh no, Brazil probably will take a game from Italy,
I could see them take a
but
game
I can
because
see
it's
yeah,
that.
pretty close if you look at the rating and all that.
I can see that
I
for
think we're
sure.
getting into a pretty interesting matchup there.
Yeah, and then the next one for me is a very interesting matchup.
Japan.
Japan at 35, and they're going to be up against Denmark.
Japan is massively underrated.
I think
I
there's,
think.
I think they could win that for sure.
I think they. I would have said Japan wins this easily, but I also saw that Japan with that same lineup, they lost a show match against some sort of weird mixture of France B and France C.
Oh, really? Oh,
So
the Fox
I'm like,
lineup.
they should have won that easily. So either the French teams are performing well. It's also a show match, so you can't really read too much into it. Or maybe the Japanese guys are a bit rusty. So
Is. But also, and now this is a long time ago, they signed up for my last team game tournament and they finished last. And that was a. It wasn't as if the competition was that like high.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like they were playing against GB actually had a team in there, but it wasn't. And I don't need to find the players.
I
But
think
yeah, and they like the opposition wasn't that high, I think. And I remember going before, and I think they had they had the highest seed and ended up finishing like last in the group. So it will be
yeah,
interesting, but I think they are
it's
slightly underrated on the seeding at least.
I think it's a good matchup for them, Denmark,
Yeah, I would.
because
They have question marks
the
as well.
yeah,
I think they've not been as active as they have been in recent times. But good luck, Kongan, Emil. They have played quite a bit in the past together.
yeah.
Should be okay, but you never know. Comtan's not been playing a while as well for Japan,
I
so
think the Japanese are missing some of their all-time team game players. I think May and Chart are probably the two strongest player in that lineup.
mhm.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. Uh,
I always assumed
Not sure.
chart has been higher than 2259. That surprises me.
I think that's probably his team game account. I think his risky dice account probably reached more than 2300 in 1v1.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
yeah, that would make sense. It would make sense. Hmm. Okay.
Uh,
Germany C.
and they're playing Germany B, I think.
They are, and that's gonna be an interesting one. So this is it's essentially NC guys against the Laka guys. Is what it's
Yeah.
really kind of boiled down to.
I'm favoring Germany C
I think I'm
in
gonna
the
go.
lineup.
I think I'm gonna go with the youth, and I'm gonna go Germany B. I think purely just because they do. I think there has been a couple additions in the C team. It'll take some time to
Yeah,
get in there, but like Ando, Skittle should all be like
they're super strong.
yeah,
Yeah.
super strong, comfortable with each other. But then you have King Marv and Fat Man come in from OP, whereas the other
Yeah.
team is just like they're already all teammates and should
Mhm.
have super good chemistry together.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't know the B team at all,
I've seen the
actually.
names, but
I only
I've
know
rarely seen them play.
Django, obviously. But the other ones, yeah, maybe I've
And
seen the names here and there, but yeah, like there's more familiar names for me in Germany C, but I agree with
yeah,
you, it's kind of like a weird mix up of NC guys and OP guys. Like the one punch guys, like I I don't know how good they are in team games and how well they will adapt to playing with the other. I know Gurke used to play a lot on NC zone, so I have no problem imagining a team with like Skittle, Endorin, Gurke, and then maybe either Fatman or Marv, depending on the maps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know LSD 25 at all.
No, it's not a name I'm familiar with.
it's also like it's the I might be wrong, but like Skittle and Andorin, they like last Nations Cup probably like on A team.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, they were, if I remember right.
mm,
So a difference now.
yeah. So it's like they're very experienced, and then some of these I want to say new guys, although but it's like this new gelling with the team that's gonna be interesting to see.
And like the experience counts for one thing, but are they going to be like up to date enough on like the current meta and in terms of other things and being like forward thinking? So there's different perspectives you can look at it. But I think for me this is probably the matchup to watch out the full qualifiers if we do get it. That'll be a hype game, I think. Having two countries facing off. Or two teams
Yeah,
within the same country facing off for that
could
final
be
spot.
a grudge match as well.
For sure.
Like I'm hoping for some trash talk and all that.
Make the scheduling forums public. We want to see it. They're also close enough to could end up being like that 3-2
Yeah, they're super
scoreline
close
either
level.
way,
So.
Mm-hmm.
and so it's definitely interesting. And I probably all of the like last matchups to look through are gonna be like that.
Mm-hmm. I can see a 3-2 to either team here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then on the last matchup, we have India versus Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I have really no idea how this is gonna go.
Well, to be fair, that's the closest match on paper that can happen in the
It's
qualification.
just super
It-
weird as well. Like Netherlands have praise back. AJ is gonna be playing. He's got like Moonfoot. Like the squad is just strange. It's
Yeah,
a super strange squad, and I don't know what to make of it.
I think India is favorite by quite a bit.
I think India definitely also has a lot of more chemistry.
Yeah, they've dropped a lot
They
as
have
well.
the best player of the group. I think Dragonstar is probably the strongest player of the of both team combined.
Yeah.
And then maybe Derp is the second best. But yeah, and I think they also have the advantage of playing a lot more team games together. I think the Dutch team, I'm not sure about the chemistry, like the team games.
Yeah,
Like
that's the big question.
Derp plays a few team games with the Cloud Legion guys. I know Salted Pepper probably. I've seen him play team games, but it's mostly like chill team games where he's often the best player.
Mm-hmm.
AJ and Praise, they were I think they were the World Cup 2v2 team, along with Dark Noob. So they have some experience. Then AJ, Rogier, and Golden Ant are rulers of Rome, I guess former players or used to be. So they might have some chemistry together as well. I see AJ as probably the most important player in that lineup, and then Derp as well. So we'll see.
And
I want to see Strode get some game time.
He is.
Or I want to see Strode handle scheduling for his team.
I don't think that's gonna end well. I'm gonna be honest.
Doc and admin philosophy, he does the scheduling. It's such a weird one. Why he's on the team? In the sense, because like he doesn't play team games, and if he does, it's like with people a lot lower rated than him. And I think he's a decent player, and if he focuses and stop complaints and that type of thing, he could easily be like 1800 like that. But I feel like why it's a bit like pulling him out a bit like, why is he on this team? He doesn't seem to fit, and especially he always like he likes bragging about not walling in team games. So like
Yeah.
at this level, you can't do that type of thing, and he doesn't seem to even, can I say, fit into a team game.
Yeah, it'll be a baptism of fire for a lot of players.
Yeah.
I think
It's
this
gonna-
India team, on the other hand, is very strong. Like Panda, you were saying that they were beating Tattoo without
some of
even
like
Dragon's
they were
Guard?
like yeah they were like, it was like they had 2 players from the A team and 2
Yeah.
players from the B team, and they beat Spain B with Tato queuing with them on the ladder, and it did not look good on on the non-Tato side. It was I was impressed. They held well, given that on paper it's kind of like it was, they were kind of combining from teams. But yeah, I think chemistry wise and meta wise, I think they have India has a good team.
Yeah,
I think they should be favorites.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And they dropped a lot in the season as well. I don't entirely know why. I wasn't keeping progress in every single team, of course. But
I think other teams just grinded.
Yeah, I think they were just left a bit in the dust by the looks of it. Their current team game rating. I mean,
but they're still a really good team.
Yeah, like current team game, like the 1800 mark would have been really good a month ago. All these top teams are like 2K plus now.
Yeah.
Which there's been a big inflation. Well, that should be pretty much all the teams from outside top 64. Obviously, didn't get every single matchup, but getting closer to this 32, 33 region, really delved into it. Any kind of final thoughts before we finish up?
I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. It's just a lot of hype on this thing. I can't wait to see all those flags.
I'm really looking forward to like having hopefully some of these War End games all like streamed on smaller channels and things. I don't want it all to just to be about like the big teams. I'm really looking forward to just like hopping in the odds like Twitch channel and seeing like some random ass Netherlands C versus someone else.
Casting France.
Yeah, if we can go to the bottom of the absolute bottom of the seeding list, there's a few teams that I have my eyes on. There is obviously a seed on 142, South Africa.
Oh,
Then
boy.
there is 146, Switzerland D. with the He's.
Yeah.
And then 148 Netherlands D with my guys Nimano, Foghorn, Sci-Fi, Ivy.
Ivik and
So those
Sci-Fi.
The old Leo clan.
Yeah, I want to see those three teams duke it out somewhere. Maybe we can sponsor a three-way show match: South Africa, Switzerland D, and Netherlands D.
That would be fun to watch.
Ivy did say that he realized that Chinese and Mayans don't get extra villagers on Nomad anymore.
Yeah, that
It
was
Oh
just
my
like,
yesterday.
god, he's so far behind.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so long ago we
Yikes.
last played.
Yeah, I think for me, I like to see how this Singapore team does with Dark Diamonds, Happy Fire Gamer, and Tior. Tior's the one that's 800 Evo points behind everybody else. That'll be for it.
Yeah.
That's a game I'm interested in going to watch. With that certain dynamic.
For sure.
And before it's like a massive smurf or something, and just
But
dominates.
I think if you're 700, it's probably quite easy to put on 200 Elo points if someone is coaching you properly.
Should be right.
So, obviously it depends. Are you in the mindset that you're gonna be learning some stuff, or do you not care? But potentially they could take up a lot of points, and if they are properly coached, so we'll see. I'm rooting for every a small nation that, or I'm rooting also for all those lower level teams, like every team where the players are under 1600. I think it's very brave to sign up, and I hope they have fun.
That is the main thing. Having fun.
Yeah.
And making some new friends.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I think that's one of the cool experiences.
Especially for South Africa, we have 3 players I've never played with, which it says bad about our practice, but going so far. But like at least in that sense, like getting new people that are interested.
And it's actually like I think the qualification stage, it kind of highlights the immense skill difference that you have in Age of Empires. And when I played Nations Cup 2017, so we were about, I don't know, like 12 or 1300 on Woobly, and we play Mexico, I don't know, C or D in the first round, and they were just 1600, and so obviously they beat us 2-0 easily, and then they got trashed by another team that was, I don't know, like 1800, and that other team got trashed by a team of 2Ks, etc., all the way to the very top. It's impressive, like how wide the skill distribution is.
Mm-hmm. Like a couple hundred Elo points counts for some big like differences in skill for sure. Panda, anything you want to close with?
I don't know. I'm super excited, and like for me it was because Nations Cup was the first team game tournament that I saw, and I was like, damn, I wish I could play in this, and I'm finally getting my chance to do it, because back then I didn't even know there were other South Africans playing this game. So that for me it's hype in that way, and overall, like I think also if you look at the people that have signed up, it shows how much the game has grown in the last like 3 years. Look how many teams have a 2K player on them. You wouldn't have said this 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And I think it shows that it's like the whole scene. It's in a way it's growing.
Yeah.
And there's so much also on team game sides. Like look how many good teams there are. If you compare it to like other usually team game tournaments taking the backseat, but not, and it's always the top 4 teams kind of like Suomi, WP, and GL and AM and that. But like there's so much talent behind that, which I think will be highlighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
the thing I'm looking most forward to. Is having that kind of like unknown factor beyond those teams, and seeing who's going to be able to step up and being able to compete at this very top level.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Cannot wait. We got another few weeks to get through qualifiers, of course. Pretty much a series a week to get things scheduled. Hopefully that'll be alright for most people. It's pretty fair, in all honesty. And I'm kind of hoping that, within France, nearly everyone should be operating on one time zone. There's going to be anomalies for sure, but it shouldn't be as difficult with, finding a time slot if you had a team where you had 4 or 5 players across all different time zones, and then like the same on the other side. There should be some sort of like a little bit of localization at the very least. I hope so, anyway. I really do.
We have Argentina first round. That's gonna be a fun one to schedule. But yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, me too. I obviously a lot going on in the event. Sometimes it's difficult to actually to take the moment to enjoy that's going on, but I'm sure when things have like got underway and things are running nice and smooth and die down a little bit, I'll be able to like sit back and watch a stream and enjoy it as much as I can. But in the meantime, I have lots more stuff to do, and hopefully reviewing more in the next week.
Ooh, teasing an announcement.
So we'll see. Hopefully there will be some news. But
Nice.
that was that's nearly like I guess around the 2-hour mark. Yeah, around the 2-hour mark. So pretty much the exact same as the top 32. Because we started around this time at 6:15. So not too shabby.
Yeah.
But, thanks very much for joining me.
Well, thanks for having us.
And hopefully we can do
a recap.
A full post-qualifier recap. I think it's probably the best time to come back.
Yeah, I agree.
And we can talk about upsets, maybe from some VODs for people to go back and watch as well. I think it's a good one. Just try and give a summary.
Well, I expect Panda is gonna watch every single game of the qualifier, so he'll know what are the best matches.
He really will. He'll have a spreadsheet and everything will be rated, of course, because that's the Panda way.
And then I'll post and everyone's like, no, this doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I just get on that level. I'll try and catch as much as I can. I think I'm gonna be a bit busy with cricket in the upcoming month or two, so I might miss a lot. Especially when you're there like the whole day and then you come back, and then it's hard finding the energy to go back to watch something, especially when there's something else. Because there's gonna be a lot of things to watch, and then you have a backlog of games to go watch. But
I think a lot of people maybe won't like the length of the tournament, but for me it's really nice because I can if I miss 2 weeks of the tournament for whatever personal reasons or for anybody else, I'm probably not going to miss all that much. And then I can just go back in, and then if I'd done that with if we do that with any of the Microsoft tournaments, you've essentially missed nearly all of the action. But it should be a lot easier to just kind of go at your own pace with this.
And I think also the length is because I assume there will be a small break for NAC4.
Yeah, we've extended the timeline. It's instead of nearly all the hour weeks are 1 week, but it's 2 weeks for that one. So it should be absolutely fine for teams to play it. And there's no reason why someone couldn't play technically during NAC, depending on the scheduling, but we'd have to see.
But I think it's also going to be good. It just gives you a small break, And then
Yes.
for those who like might have missed, catch up, and then also, okay, we're back to 1v1s for like those 2 weeks mostly, and then bam, back into the back end of Nations Cup.
Yeah,
And
it's,
that could help drive up hype as
if I,
well.
if I remember right, that 2 week break or that 2 week timing we've allowed, I think it's around the 16 for the double elimination stage, so it's just getting towards like the pointy end where things are starting to get the most interesting. So I think it kind of falls.
Yeah.
It's fell at a very natural point for the tournament, I think. So, but we're a couple of months off.
Yeah, and that's gonna be yeah, I think if I'm looking this, it's like the group stage finishes, and then and then it's the last 16, and then it could even have maybe some stories, like whoever won Nations Cup, can he carry that form for his team, and
Mm-hmm.
it can create some nice side stories as well. I think
There'll be a lot of narratives for sure. They'll be bouncing all over the place. Right. Oh, thank you very much. That was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next one. And
Yeah.
take care. All right.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You too.
See ya.